Hello everyone, today I want to compare the patch 3.7 limited banner characters Yoimiya, Yae Miko, Kaedehara Kazuha and Alhaitham in terms of anything combat related. While listening, you will also get a quick impression of their gameplay to see if they fit your preference. To start us off, there will be a short rundown of each character individually, and at the end I'll give you my opinion on which ones to prioritize. First of all, this patch is a little unusual since it doesn't have a new 5-star character releasing. That's why I speed it up a little since chances are high that you are already somewhat familiar with all of them. First we have Yoimiya. This one is a classic main DPS or carry, meaning she will deal most of the damage while on field. And even though she is a bow character, Yoimiya mainly uses normal attacks while her elemental skill is active. So don't worry, you don't have to aim like with Ganyu for example. This character and her teams, which usually include characters like Jingshou or Yelan, are very heavy on single target damage, so great for killing bosses and kind of bad at everything else. Next we have Yae. This one is a regular sub DPS, meaning this character wants to deal damage while she is off field. She does so consistently with her elemental skill, but she can also hit pretty hard with her burst skill for some immediate damage. Regarding teams, at this point most people probably figured out that Electro and Dendro characters are best friends. Yae also gets some bonus scaling with Elemental Mastery, so even using her for Hyper Bloom is something I think works pretty well, which means you get some build variety between high Elemental Mastery or crit. Next we have Kazuha. I would consider him mainly a support, meaning he's all about buffs or some sort of utility, but he can also deal pretty reasonable damage himself. The way he applies this buff is a little, let's call it tedious. He increases elemental damage bonus for elements that he swirls for 8 seconds, so you will rarely see two of them at the same time, which in my mind screams mono element teams. The most popular option here is Freeze, but there are also good Electro teams with a C6 Zara and some hard-hitting Electro carry like Raiden. Last we have Alhaitham. This one is another classic main DPS, though technically you could choose to sacrifice field time for more burst skill damage every time, but at that point you might as well look for another pure Dendro sub DPS. In terms of teams, a second Dendro character is pretty much mandatory since he has great elemental mastery bonus scaling. Honestly, it's Nahida, you want those two together. But aside from this, with that much Dendro application you can go for pretty much any type of reaction, Bloom, Hyper Bloom, Quicken, Burgeon, everything just works. Alright, that covers all the characters, and if you want my recommendation, honestly I feel like none of these characters are super standouts, so it took me some time, but I decided to give the highest priority to Yae Miko. Now I might be a little biased since she also happened to be one of my favorite characters, but honestly with Sumeru, Electro characters have gone up in value a lot, and Yae is the best Electro sub DPS in my opinion. Though she also only really competes with one other character, Fischl, I guess just her bird to be more precise. To be fair though, they are very close, which is why I wouldn't call Yae a must pull. Next we have Kazuha. The reason why I chose Yae over him is because it's the exact opposite here. With Sumeru, his value went down considerably. Some Dendro teams run 3 different elements, which is kind of a nightmare situation for Kazuha's utility. The main reason though is his 4-star counterpart Sucrose does way better in that regard. Her elemental mastery buff just works for everyone. In my mind, these two aren't even close anymore. Though to be fair, the teams he works in might be older, but they aren't bad, which is why he isn't further down on this list. Next is Alhaitham. Honestly, I think this character is pretty good and really flexible, but he is also a little annoying to play. His animations are kind of long, so he doesn't feel as nimble, and sometimes you find yourself being late on dodging because of it, though this can be somewhat mitigated by shields to be fair. Also, there is a weird delay after pressing his burst skill until his mirrors get generated, so you oftentimes stand there awkwardly for 1 or 2 seconds just waiting for that to happen. On a different note, his elemental skill has a small teleport which can be satisfying to use for repositioning or even to get out of the way of some attacks, kind of similar to Keqing. Last we have Yoimiya. She can deal pretty reasonable single target damage. The problem is, she is power crept by Hu Tao in a big way. Don't ask me how that works, even though Hu Tao is the older character, but that's the unfortunate reality of it. Also, Yoimiya is usually played on these Human Hours Reminiscence set, which is easy to obtain, but the energy penalty is something I personally dislike playing with. One big upside though is she is super easy to play, especially with Hu Tao in mind, who is a little bit of a, let's say, special interest character. You might just prefer this one. There you have it. I don't think you have to feel bad to skip any of these banners, but if you decided to pull, in my opinion, it's Yae over Kazuha over Alhaitham over Yoimiya. Alright, we made it to the end. I hope this helped you decide on which banners to wish on. Let me know in the comments and stay tuned for more videos. Until then, have fun and bye bye.